Hey everyone, this is just a brief lecture to round out your week. What I want to do is just wrap up our discussion on proposals because what I gave you is, and what I'm assigning you is a good template and a good structure for writing the real core parts of a proposal. It comes from a writing textbook, which I assigned um, the reading for. You'll see the PDF on Canvas. It's a textbook I really like. I teach from it. I've learned from it in the past, and it works really well, especially for a 5-week course to practice. But there are in the other textbook, the textbook for the course, more specific elements of business proposals that I just wanted to quickly go over. So essentially the textbook does have all of the core sections we're working with, but it has a couple extra ones. So I just wanted to go over those and what they're about. I'm not going to make you write them just because I don't think we have the time. And then we'll think a little bit about sound bites, and that'll be part of your discussion work for this week. So wrapping up proposals, I mentioned that proposals have two forms, practice-based and policy-based, while business proposals have two other forms in solicited versus unsolicited proposals. So in any workplace, but more specifically, I think in consulting and probably research based businesses, you'll find a lot of solicited proposals, and it gets abbreviated RFP, but it's basically a request for a proposal. So somebody says, we have, some project that needs to be finished. Can you send us a proposal about how it can be done by your company or your business? And you'll write essentially in the form that you're practicing in this course, how your company can complete it. And there's unsolicited ones. These are the ones I was kind of more or less addressing when I was saying you'll find things you don't like in a community or organization. If you sit down and find something you don't like, write up a proposal and maybe go to a supervisor or a manager and say, hey, here's a change we propose. That would be unsolicited. So business proposals get divided into those two. They have all of the sections that you're going to practice with for this week, plus a couple of other ones. Your textbook online adds executive summary. Well, it says cover page and executive summary. I'm sure more specifically, if you're working with a solicited proposal and an RFP, it'll tell you if it wants a cover page and an executive summary and things like that. So that might not be the case every time, but an executive summary is essentially an abstract. In a lot of your feedback so far from me, you might have noticed that I'll say, hey, business writing is very cut and dry, very much get to the chase here. And executive summaries are that way. So if you're presenting this proposal that's maybe 12 or 15 pages long, maybe at the beginning, you just kind of have this paragraph or half paragraph that tells the executive who's going to read it what exactly to expect. And so they're already starting to formulate opinions. A market analysis, if you're proposing a new product specifically, people want to know if this thing can be sold or if this thing can be profitable. Is there, in other words, a market for it? I am asking you to work with UD as a sample template for the proposal. There is like kind of a market analysis to that. You could think like, hey, are other universities successfully implementing this plan I'm proposing? So those can be in what we're practicing as well. I'm just, again, not asking you to do it because it's a short course, and I think we would just run out of time, or we'd end up spending 5 weeks all on proposal writing, which I think is just too much. In a professional proposal, you'll want a timeline, like how quickly can this project be done? What kind of resources, what kind of deadlines are going to be met, and when and where. Again, we probably could have done that, but again, be a little bit tough with our time constraints. And then lastly, a marketing plan. How are we going to make people aware of what's in this proposal? And so those are all sections to consider. They all come from that textbook we've been working with, but they're just not things I'm going to ask you to practice in this course. And so, yeah, our last topic for the week are sound bites and quotables. I'm going to make a discussion and an assignment based around these. So here's just some things to think about. Taglines and slogans are the easiest quotables to point to. Here's a couple examples where you can probably quickly remember who the companies are. Have it your way, you're in good hands, and America runs on Dunkin', with Burger King, Allstate, and Dunkin' Donuts, obviously, right in a row. And so what really makes these work, or what has our mind going like, oh, I know exactly what to associate that with right away? Well, like a lot of business writing, it's short and to the point, right? Each one is 4 words, and it can't really get any shorter than that and be a full sentence. So yeah, they're short, they're to the point. They use a simple vocabulary, right? There's no big words here. Runs, good, your way, all simple words that everyone knows. And these ones I took from the text, although I think they pertain to those first 2 points, but your textbook says they should also be memorable and easy to repeat. But I think part of what makes these memorable is that they are so short and they are so simple. And I think, again, what makes them easy to repeat is the same thing. There's a bird chirping loudly outside of my window. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's making me laugh mid-lecture. So lastly, what you should be thinking about with sound bites and quotables are that, and this comes directly from your text as well, all of them are memorable and quickly become part of our cultural literacy, expressing rather a common sentiment or perception and reinforcing our image of the speaker, business, product, or service. And so I'm going to ask you to think about that in terms of your own proposal and your own proposal writing. And then I'll also ask you to think about some sound bites and quotables that you've encountered beyond the business world. But we'll think about how maybe we can come back and apply those to a business situation. And so that's all the information for this week. I'll look forward to reading the discussions. Again, I'm committed to being a little bit more engaged this week. I just had not planned my schedule accordingly for how the grading would go in this course. And I apologize, it's my first time doing the 5-week format. So I'm committed to being more engaged in the discussions, and I'll have a quicker turnaround on your assignments from last week as well. So thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for checking out these lectures, and I'll look forward to reading your work. Thanks, everyone.